This looks like a fan boat that you're on right now, Isabel. What can you tell us? Looks like you're in the middle of something. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah.
7 cats and 6 birds.
Hey, Jim, we are in Valrico of Hillsborough County on yet another airboat with the Sheriff Chad Chronister. This is the Alafaya River, sir. I know that this is an area that typically floods, but have you seen anything like this?
Not like this. Remember, to put things in perspective, we're a mile away from the Alafaya River, and this water is at least 6 feet deep, and it's still rising. We just did a rescue from that house over here to the left, right here, the grayish one.
Yeah.
The water's just, great job, the house is built up, but the water's just getting ready to get into the house. We got flagged down from the owner saying, can you please help me, help me? Went over there and rescued her 6 cats and her 7 birds.
And that person's okay?
And she's okay. The parents got out last night, and we got them out this morning.
Do you have a grasp yet of the extent of the homes that are impacted? How many more people might need help?
We don't. This is early. This is just starting to come into play here. So we're in the helicopter now assessing how widespread this damage is and trying to predict where the water's going to crest. We're at 6 feet deep. We have some people who believe that it might get as high as 20 feet.
And actually, I do have some data, thanks to our meteorologist, Eric Van Dam, that peak crest for the Alafaya River is expected tonight. So that's 25 and a half feet is what they're expecting that crest to be. That is major flood stage. Sir, yesterday when we were talking, you got emotional seeing all these people who had lost their homes. That's over in the university area, upstate area. What else have you seen at the loss that people are experiencing, even days on after Milton has passed?
And that's heart-wrenching, right? The water will come in, the water will leave, and then these poor people will have to deal with the aftermath. Once again, what's next steps forward for them? They've lost their cars, they've lost their homes, but at the end of the day, I get it, it's material items. We'll rescue all the pets and keep them and themselves safe. But it's hard for me not to imagine the heartbreak that comes along with next steps. Where do those people go that don't have family? They don't have friends. They don't have the money to get a hotel. What happens to them?
And sir, I can imagine you guys are being stretched right now with the number of rescues, so many rescues that you guys are conducting. Are you getting the support that you need at every stage, state and federal?
We are, and that's the great thing. We have another 500 deputies that have been deployed to this area to help us out, fish and wildlife. The governor's been fantastic about, hey, I'm sending it to you. So we have other sheriffs from other areas that weren't impacted. I was on the phone with them till late last night, and they're either here or on the way. So we want to make sure if there's one person that needs saved, one person that needs rescue, we have the ability to do so.
I imagine that this is exhausting for you guys, for your men and women out there. Any idea of when, because so many people are thinking about recovery, turning the page, repairing their homes, but clearly we're still at a stage in some areas where it's life or death and rescues. Any idea when that'll end?
That's a great question. Don't know. If this river continues, you know, we're a mile away from the river flooding and we're at 6 feet. What happens if we get that 20, 25 feet and it continues to go? These emergency calls for help are going to be more widespread.
And sir, when we're seeing flood levels at this stage, even going above stop signs, can you talk about the dangers that your deputies could be experiencing out on the waters? If it's not from just debris from Helene, we know there's gators. What else are you guys seeing in the waters?
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's not just the wildlife, it's just not the obstacles. Like when we came in and our sergeant here had to give us a little more gas, we were riding over someone's fence. You know, their fence is underwater. There's a lot of dangers and obstructions that we can't see because it's hidden under the cover of water, and it becomes very dangerous.
And sir, is there any message that you would have to people right now that live by a body of water? They're not sure if from the overflow, this torrential rainfall, if maybe this is going to be their experience next.
Yeah, please get out now. You know, we have some people here that we're rescuing that thought it would be okay. Listen, get your news from a trusted news source. The water's not going down. The water's only going to increase. So if you're on the fence on whether you should leave or not leave, please, let's keep everyone safe. Let's leave now.
Sheriff Chad Chronister, thank you so much for your time. Jim.
All right, Isabel Rosales and the sheriff, thank you both so much. Really appreciate it. Please stay safe.
I want to go to CNN's Ivan Rodriguez, who's on the other side of the state in Fort Pierce. Ivan, what are you seeing this morning?
John, good morning. Well, 6 of those deaths are here in St. Lucie County, many of them in a neighborhood off over to my right. 24 hours ago, people were coming out surveying the damage that was left behind by those powerful and deadly tornadoes. Here to my left is just one piece of the devastation that we're seeing. A semi toppled over. You can see this wheel here off the front of the semi over my head. The front bumper here to give you a bird's eye perspective of the whole entire area of this road that we're seeing. On the other side of this busy road in town, there's another semi. That trailer, as metal is just completely smashed in as well. We are also looking at all of the other damage that was made by these tornadoes. We were able to survey the area, and officials say more than 100 homes here were damaged. Hear what longtime residents had to say about all that destruction.
It was absolutely devastating, only because we just went through Ian and the same exact thing happened with the tornadoes. So to see and it actually ripped the concrete right out of the ground.
Never have I experienced damage or the amount of tornadoes that came through this area. And it was the most frightening thing I've ever lived through.
I just don't want people to have to come back to this. What a shame. I pray to God Mother Nature would save us and preserve us, but none of us were killed. Nobody died.
We know one of those tornadoes, John, struck in a retirement community consisting mostly of modular homes. The sheriff here tells us that search and rescue is still ongoing this morning.
Yeah, that tower cam shot, Ivan, of that truck turned over, you standing right behind it. That is something. Thank you so much for your reporting this morning. Great work. Kate?
So many of those affected by hurricanes Helene and Milton are in desperate need for aid. And the concern is that will FEMA have enough money to help them all out? CNN's Kevin Liptak is reporting on this from the White House for us. Kevin, this has been an ongoing conversation. A lot of questions. Is there enough? Is there enough? Where can people will people have get the aid that they need so much? Where is the money? What are you hearing?
Yeah, right now FEMA does say that they have enough money for immediate needs. We've heard that from the FEMA administrator. We heard it from President Biden, but they are burning through that money very quickly. In fact, they've already spent almost half of their budget for the current fiscal year, and it only began 11 days ago. So that money will have to be replenished at some point. Right now, the biggest concern when it comes to funding inside the White House is at the Small Business Administration. They provide low interest loans, not only to small businesses, but also to homeowners, to renters who are trying to recover from the storm. They only have about $100 million left. That's only going to last a couple of weeks. And for that reason, we heard President Biden yesterday call for the first time for Congress to return to Washington to pass additional funding for these recovery efforts. When you hear from congressional leaders, they don't sound inclined to come back. We've heard from the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, who says that because it will take so long for assessments to come in to determine exactly how much money will be needed, that it would be fine for Congress to wait until November 12th, which is when they're set to return, and pass the money then. The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said something similar, that it can wait until after the election, but certainly they are coming under enormous pressure, not only from Democrats, but also some Republicans from these states that have been affected, to come back to Washington to pass this recovery effort. The backdrop, of course, to all of this are the lies, are the disinformation, including from former President Trump about the state of government funding. And we have heard forceful pushback on that from the White House, including from President Biden. He has called that un-American. Yesterday, he said directly to Trump, "Get a life, man."
Kevin Liptak at the White House for us. Thank you, Kevin.